Center. We're here with the diving side of things. Indiana has a commanding lead on both the men's and women's side of things. We saw the one bright spot for Cincinnati was Ryan DePietro's comeback win in the 200-yard butterfly, but besides that, we've seen Indiana consistently take two of the top three spots for swimming here on diving right now. We're in round 3 of 6. Looks like we have Cody Coldren up, performing a backwards 1.5 somersault pike, a 2.3 degree of difficulty on the 1 meter board. After a few bounces, he's off and underway. A few slow claps there from the stands. We'll see what the judges have to say about that.
And there it is. You see your leader is Joshua Arndt from LaPorte, Indiana, LaPorte High School. He was, back in high school, he was the first diver to win consecutive IHSAA state titles in 20 years. And he posted 484 points for his 2013 title. And he holds countless LaPorte records still that will only hoped to be broken by the future divers back home.
Right now it's Zachary Wolcott on the board, preparing for his backwards 1.5 somersault pike. And we talked to some divers yesterday here at practice, and they said that perfection is impossible in diving. There's always something either form-wise or maybe too big of a splash that won't go just right, but you have to make sure that you have the appearance of perfection in every other aspect. So let's say you mess up maybe in your hand position or your feet. The rest of your dive, you have to act like that is perfect and try to win the judges over. There, a big round of applause there for Michael Bauer, the backwards 2.5 somersault tuck. 2.8 degree of difficulty.
Absolutely, but like you said, it is very difficult to be absolutely perfect in diving. And so those red ropes that you see behind the springboards are actually water belts, and that is something that is new, and it's state-of-the-art. It's one of those facility specific things that we were speaking on earlier here at Councilman Billingsley Aquatic Center. And those are to help the divers learn their dives in a safe way so that they don't hurt themselves and that they get their form down in this sport that is so heavily driven by form and technique.
That's right. We heard that the Billingsley Diving Center, it was shut down for several months so that those ropes could be installed. The belts, as you mentioned, it helps the divers work on their form. We saw their coach, Drew Johansson, help them out, give them some pointers from the sideline yesterday. It's just one of the many ways they can practice. They also have several trampolines, indoor and outdoor. They have 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10-meter platforms to work with. There's a TiVo system that provides immediate and external feedback for divers behind each level of platform, as well as a TV VCR. And across campus, there's outdoor training that includes 2 trampolines and a dry board, as well as the outdoor pool that they sometimes work with. The indoor diving facilities offer 5 trampolines, 7 spotting belts, and the swimmers and divers, given the positioning of this Councilman Billingsley Aquatic Center and the SRSC, they can walk right upstairs and lift if they have to and work out. It's a great setup for them. And this has been home to multiple national and international diving competitions, given its state-of-the-art facilities and technology here in Bloomington.
Absolutely. The dry land center that these divers use on a daily basis is really, really integral to their support system from the coaches, but also their experience as divers. They spend minutes and minutes and hours on trampolines, in these water belts, in the pool, really trying to hone their craft, really trying to make themselves the best they can be to compete in this D1 Big Ten storied program at Indiana University.
And let's learn a little bit about the namesake, Hobie Billingsley himself, who is IU's first diving coach. We see him on the walls here, one of the many great Hoosier alumni, whether that be a swimmer, a diver, or a coach. He was named Diving Coach of the Year 7 consecutive seasons from 1964 through 1970. Coached 14 NCAA champion divers, 7 outdoor diving champions, 14 indoor diving champions, and 23 Olympic divers. Lots of stats to throw at you, but to make it short, a very talented coach. Was a Team USA coach, in fact, in 1968 and 1972. Also had experience coaching Austria in 1976 and Denmark 1980, so certainly earned up his sky miles, traveling around the world coaching some of the world's top divers. But nowadays, it's Drew Johansson.
Only the third diving coach in IU history. He was named the head coach back on April 29th of 2013, and that was after spending 6 seasons at Duke University. He's also spent time at Illinois State and Florida Atlantic, but he was an athlete at Arizona State, and he dove there. And his wife, Jenny, is also a 2-time Olympic diver and former head diving coach at North Carolina. So it's safe to say that he knows what he's talking about. He's really leading this team the best way he knows how, and that is a very, very experienced way.
And diving runs in the Johansson family. His wife, Jenny, was a 2-time Olympic diver, also the former head diving coach at North Carolina. Drew Johansson, he was the USA diving head coach for the 2012 Olympics. Previously spent 7 years at the U.S. national team. Led the team to 1 gold, 1 silver, and 2 bronze medals in London, which was the most medals for any U.S. diving team since 1988. Also spent time at Illinois State and Florida Atlantic. Saw FAU's transition from Division II to Division I. And Johansson attended Arizona State and was a member of the diving team there back in his college days. We see now Ellen Posh up to bat with the inward 2.5 somersault tuck, a 2.7 degree of difficulty, with the leader, Mikhail Bauer, at 231.75.
And Mikhail Bauer is from Loveland, Colorado, but she saw the status of Indiana University, and she made the trip out to Big Ten country. She was actually an Arizona athlete for her first 2 seasons, and was actually named the Pac-12 Women's Diving Newcomer of the Year in her first year there. But back in high school, she was the MVP for all 4 years. She was named to All-State, All-Region, All-District, All-City, All-Conference, all 4 seasons, and was a 3-time All-American. And she was actually the first 4-time state champion in Colorado history. And that's saying something. And now here she is leading with 231.75 points today in this first meet of this season.
Big roar from the crowd as Lacey Hauser completes a forward 2.5 somersault, 1-turn pike. 3.0 level of difficulty, one of the higher ones possible. This is round 5. There are 6 rounds total, so this is the time to make a break and pull out all the stops here. Amanda Coffey is up next with the inward 2 somersault tuck. She's in the water. Bit of a rough landing there for Coffey, the Bearcat. We'll see what the judges have to say. 2.4, just a 32.40 for the 2.4 degree of difficulty on the dive. Round 5 is finishing up, as we mentioned. This is the 3-meter championship. Now up, it's the men's. Josh Arndt.
And as we said before, Josh Arndt is a very, very, very good diver. He was, back in high school, he was the first diver to win consecutive state titles. And we talked to him a few days ago and got the opportunity to, and he said that this team is very, very prepared for this season, more prepared than he thinks they've ever been. And everybody's looking better than they ever have because of all these separate things that are going on. People are preparing for Grand Prix meets, and we're only a year out from the Olympics. So they're in a very rigorous workout mode, as he put it, and it's very fast-paced. And we can see that's paying off for him today, as he is leading with 249.90 points here in the 5th round.
That's right, just 5'6", 160, but a very talented diver. Diving's a unique sport in that you don't have to be the biggest or tallest.
Indeed.
It's all about form, how fast you can spin and tuck.
It all comes back to technique at the end of the day.
That's right, it sure does. He was the first diver to win consecutive Indiana High School State Athletic Association titles in 20 years. Tallied a grand total of 484 points for his 2013 title. And, of course, he also won some conference sectional and regional titles. Conference MVP, the accolades go on and on for Josh Arndt, the junior from LaPorte, Indiana. We see him in the lead right now with 249.90 points. This is round 5 for the men's 1-meter championship. That's Walcott in the pool after his backwards 1.5 somersault, half turn free. Judges say that's worth 26.78 points, bringing us total to 131.93 on the afternoon with just one round to go. Back to the women's side in the 3 meter, we have Mikhail Bauer.
And we just saw a back 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twists, and she's really doing well today. You know, she's had 231.75 points so far, and she's really big on technique, just like everyone else is on this team, led by Coach Drew
Johansson.
Johansson.
Coach Johansson, that's right. Third diving coach in IU program history. It's the final round. We saw Bauer just take the lead there up to 276.75, dethroning Hauser. It's Ellen Posh, 2.4 degree of difficulty. It was a backwards 1.5 somersault, 1.5 turn dive there off the 3 meter board.
And Ellen Posh is a sophomore from Cleveland Heights, Ohio, a product of Cleveland Heights High School. And she actually broke the Cleveland Heights school record as a senior, while also placing 6th at the Ohio State diving meet. But in high school, she qualified for 4 junior nationals on the platform as both a junior and a senior. She did her first collegiate season at Georgia Tech and did a lot of really good things, not only against Navy, where she posted her best collegiate mark of 262.35, but also she won the 1 meter board against Dayton.
We see now Amanda Coffey's up with the 1.5 somersault pike. Hauser reclaimed the lead there with 319.95, round 6, the late comeback push after Bauer claimed the lead from her teammate.
You see Lacey Hauser posting really good dives today. And we got the opportunity to talk to her a few days ago. And she's a transfer student, but she's really excited. She said it was a dream come true to be able to dive here in the Councilman Billingsley Aquatic Center. She said that this opportunity for her to be in such a storied program is really important, and it's really inspiring in that they've worked really hard to obtain the reputation that they've gotten now. And it's her senior year. She's ready to go, and she's really excited. She's really excited to see what she can do, not only in this meet, but going forward as we look towards conference and nationals and international competition.
That's right, and she started her career at Miami of Ohio, earned her 4th place finish in the 1 meter diving championship in 2012 for the Mid-American Conference. Didn't compete as a sophomore, redshirted as a junior, so now finally has a chance to compete as a 5th-year senior at Indiana. As you mentioned, the dream come true. That was Cody Coldren we'll see here on the replay, starting backwards. After a few bounces, inward dive there.
Really good technique. Really good technique and form there.
We see Josh Arndt with 310.65 points. He's in good place to win this one, to run round 6, the 6th and final round. Now we'll have Zachary Walcott with his final attempts. Bit of a big splash there. We saw his legs kick forward. Not sure he's too happy with that one. 2.5 degree of difficulty for that backwards 1.5 somersault, 1.5 turn dive. Starts off backwards, raises his hands, and watch his legs here. Goes a bit sideways, head smacks, and legs go forward. Just worth 20.63 points. Brings us total to 152.55, which is less than half of our leader in Arndt.
And Zachary Walcott, who we just saw there, first and foremost is an Eagle Scout. So he's a good kid. You know, he's majoring in civil engineering. And also, while we're at it, the rest of this Cincinnati team is